Okay, the little people, just people that have some genetic issues, which causes them to be smaller in height, smaller stature. What's interesting is that we have stories of the little people all over the world, and from the Menehuna in Hawaii to the stories in America to the leprechauns of Ireland and different peoples in Indonesia and various places. The anthropologists did find a new species out in Indonesia, and that species they called Homo floresiensis, and apparently there were legends in Indonesia and in areas in that region of these little people that would steal the stuff of the other people, and when they started to steal the children, the other larger humans hunted them down and killed them off for doing that. So Flores man, or nicknamed the Hobbit, allegedly stood about 3.5 feet and discovered in Indonesia. But there are just, people that are part of our species that have this condition, and they're, human. It's just another genetic issue. And what's interesting to me is they have found several specimens in the Native American mounds, pre-Columbian contact. What I have up is one classic achondroplastic male skeleton that was found in Moundville, Alabama. And this is from the Smithsonian Papers. And in those papers, they also cite other specimens of the little people found in various places in America before Columbian contact. Now, some of these places include Ohio, and as I just mentioned, Moundville, Alabama, and a couple other places. So, just as in Egypt, these dwarves probably had, a better acceptance in those societies and were afforded to live a normal life. Now, in Africa, it's not a good time for some of the little people, and as I've mentioned before, they're usually targeted for kidnapping and slavery and cannibalized, unfortunately, and nothing's being done. As I also previously mentioned, this Flores man, looks like their group tended to hang by themselves, but as soon as they, and seemed to exist side by side with the other humans, but as soon as they started to do things like stealing children, that was it for them, and they were exterminated pretty quickly by the average-sized humans. So little people exist all over. Some societies, allow them to live a normal life and understand the situation, and other societies make it pretty much very difficult for them to exist. And if they get out of, do things like kidnapping or something like that, they were exterminated. What's interesting to me also, I had read that in England, they felt they had, the royalty felt they had property ownership of little people, which was strange. I read that somewhere. And, these little people had no rights, which makes me wonder if they that's maybe one reason they would run away to Ireland or something like that and hide and hang out with themselves to be left alone, which kind of coincides with the leprechaun mythology, where they would generally hide and keep to themselves. So that's just a brief video here. Native American mounds contained bodies of the little people. Thank you.